Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. Today we are going to try to answer the all-important question of when alt season. If you find this content interesting or valuable to you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, share this video, like it, give it a thumbs up. That's the best thing you can do to support the channel. Now, everyone's wondering when their altcoins are going to moon, and to me, the most important chart to answer that question is the Federal Reserve balance sheet of total assets. Now, what does that mean? That's pretty complicated. Well, it basically shows when the Fed is using quantitative easing versus quantitative tightening. So when they're easing monetary policy, that means they're adding to their balance sheet. When they're tightening the policy, that means they're reducing the balance sheet. This has a direct correlation to the stock markets, to the crypto markets, and yes, even your altcoins. We're going to take a look at it now. So when the purple line, which is the balance sheet, is going up, that is quantitative easing. That means they're adding to, things are getting good, they're comfortable with the economy, so they're adding to the balance sheet. When things get a little shaky, inflation, things like that, they get a little skittish and they reduce their balance sheet. That is called quantitative tightening. Now, what in the world does that have to do with our precious altcoins? Well, everyone knows there's a direct correlation between Bitcoin and altcoins, and that is shown through Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin dominance is up, then altcoin dominance is down. That means Bitcoin is outperforming the altcoins. So let's see what the Federal Reserve balance sheet or quantitative tightening and easing has to do with Bitcoin dominance. So as we can see right here, this goes all the way back. This is back in 2018. We're taking a look, and when the Reserve started quantitative tightening right here, Bitcoin dominance started going up. That means your altcoins were underperforming Bitcoin. But as soon as they began quantitative easing, right here in 2019, this was the bottom of the tightening where they started easing. Look at this, Bitcoin dominance starts going down. Once it goes sideways, you get a little spike in dominance and then crashes out as they continue easing here. All right, so now let's take a look over at, let's just go with everyone's favorite altcoin, Ethereum, and see what that has to do with that, how that translated here. So looking at Ethereum here, going back to 2020, and as you can see right down here on the bottom left, we had quantitative easing beginning. Tightening was bottoming it out here. They began to ease and add to the balance sheet. What happened? Ethereum took off. Matter of fact, if you don't think this is a good increase, let's see exactly how much it was. From bottom to the top, Ethereum made a move of about 3,500%. So that is a massive gain. Now, what happened here? They went right back to quantitative tightening. They went to QT here, and look what happens. QT begins here, and what happens? Ethereum's price bottoms out. Now, you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with today? Well, good news, my friends. This entire time we have been in quantitative tightening. Your altcoins have been underperforming, going down, 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 or sideways at best, with the exception of a couple of outliers. But we've been in this QT the entire time. You see this quantitative tightening. But the Fed has announced that on December the 1st, yes, just a few weeks away, they will begin quantitative easing. What does that tell you? If history repeats itself, quantitative easing is going to go up while the price goes up also, just like it did here, just like it has done in every single circumstance in the past. So we can go all the way back and look at your altcoins. So we should just be a matter of a few weeks away. Now, as you can see, it doesn't always happen on day one as soon as it starts. It's a little process. You can see here, quantitative easing began. There was a little bit of a grind, and then everything found its footing and took off. So don't expect on December 1st for things to just go to the moon. It may take it a few weeks, but that means this cycle could actually extend out into the first part of 2026, which would be a little different than usual. However, quantitative tightening right here, this quantitative tightening timeline is the longest in the history that we've ever had QT. So that has kept altcoins and risk on assets pinned down for a lot longer than they ever have before. So once easing begins, you could easily see this cycle extend out, especially for altcoins early into the next year, into the spring. So what I'm suggesting is we have a prolonged alt season here where things don't just crash out in December. We actually begin in December and end sometime in the spring. We'll take a look closer to time to get a little better idea of an ending date, but look for that to happen, folks. We've got quantitative easing coming up, so don't give up just yet. This is the time that things are about to start looking good for your portfolios. Thanks for tuning in. Leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to shoot a video or a short for you to answer those questions, or I can answer them in the comments for you. Let me know what you want to see and we will make it happen.